Today we explore one of the most fearsome aircraft of the Second World War, the B-25 Mitchell plane that began as a simple medium bomber, but transformed into one of the deadliest gun platforms ever to fly. By the end of its evolution, this aircraft carried up to 18 machine guns, all pointing forward, turning it into a flying buzzsaw capable of shredding anything in its path. This is the story of how the B-25 changed from a conventional bomber into one of the most heavily armed aircraft of the war, and how it reshaped the battlefield across the Pacific and beyond. The B-25 started life as a straightforward medium bomber designed to carry a respectable bomb load, hit strategic targets, and return home. When it first entered service, it was not intended to be a gunship nor a low-altitude attacker. It was supposed to bomb from medium altitude like most bombers of its time. But war, especially in the Pacific, quickly challenged those expectations. The United States Army Air Forces soon discovered that the kind of fighting required in the Pacific demanded something different. Japanese ships hid among island chains, supply barges hugged the coastline, and airfields had to be attacked at very low altitudes. Traditional bombing methods were simply not enough. Military planners needed aircraft that could fire hard, hit fast, and escape before enemy anti-aircraft guns could react. This need for aggressive low-level attack runs created the perfect opportunity for the B-25 to evolve. It already had a strong and stable airframe with good speed and long range. Crews found that with a few modifications, the B-25 could serve in roles never imagined by its designers. The first major step came with adding more forward-firing guns. Pilots wanted more firepower to destroy ships' buildings and enemy positions during a single pass. The earliest B-25 models carried only a couple of machine guns in the nose, which was not enough to stop determined defenders. The crews often improvised by installing extra guns themselves, sometimes fitting them sideways in the fuselage or positioning them in makeshift mounts. Results were impressive. With each upgrade, the aircraft became more dangerous. Soon, official versions were being built with 4 machine guns in the nose, then 6, then 8, and eventually more on the sides and in pods mounted beneath the wings. By the time the B-25J model arrived, the aircraft could be outfitted with as many as 18 forward-firing 50-caliber machine guns. This gave the B-25 an astonishing level of firepower unmatched by any other medium bomber of the era. When these guns fired at once, the effect was devastating. A single pass from a heavily armed B-25 could rip open the hull of a barge, destroy the bridge of a ship, knock out anti-aircraft positions, or erase grounded aircraft and fuel depots. One of the most famous uses of the B-25 was in the Pacific by units known as the Air Apaches. These crews quickly mastered low-level attack tactics. They approached targets at treetop levels, sometimes so low that the propellers sliced the tops off palm trees. The combination of speed, surprise, and overwhelming firepower made them nearly unstoppable. Japanese supply barges stood no chance. Enemy troops would often abandon their positions at the sound of an approaching B-25 because they knew what was coming: a storm of machine gun fire powerful enough to flatten their defenses in seconds. Another remarkable element of the B-25 evolution was the installation of a massive 75mm cannon inside the nose on certain models. This gun was normally used on tanks and artillery pieces, but engineers managed to fit it into a bomber. Although this version did not fire as rapidly as the machine gun-heavy models, it delivered devastating blows to enemy shipping. A single shell could tear through the side of a freighter. The pilot would fly straight at the ship, pull the trigger, and unleash a blast normally seen on the battlefield, not in the sky. This cannon-armed version became one of the most unusual aircraft of the war. The transformation of the B-25 was not just about firepower. It was also about tactics. Crews developed a special attack technique known as skip bombing. Instead of dropping bombs from high altitude, they released them low and fast, so the bomb would skip across the water like a stone and slam into the side of an enemy ship. Traditional bombing could miss moving targets, but skip bombing turned the entire aircraft into a precision strike weapon. Combined with the massive gunpower of the B-25, this technique changed the way the Allies fought in maritime environments. The B-25 earned global fame even before its gunship evolution. In April 1942, Lieutenant Colonel James Doolittle led a daring raid, sending 16 B-25s from the deck of an aircraft carrier to strike Japan. This was the first American attack on the Japanese homeland after Pearl Harbor. Although the raid did limited physical damage, it delivered a powerful psychological blow and boosted American morale. The Doolittle raiders proved that the B-25 was versatile, brave, and capable of missions far beyond its original design. As the war continued, the aircraft earned a fearsome reputation. Japanese troops often reported that the sound of approaching B-25 engines was one of the most terrifying noises they heard. Soldiers knew they were moments away from being hit with a storm of bullets. Enemy ships tried to maneuver away, but the B-25 was agile enough to chase them down. On land, the aircraft destroyed trains, convoys, ammunition depots, bunkers, and airfields. Its ability to deliver accurate fire while flying low made it ideal for close support roles. Maintenance crews played a key role in the evolution of the B-25. Many of the modifications originated from field experiments, where mechanics welded new gun mounts, reinforced the nose, or added armor. These innovations showed how adaptable the airframe was. Unlike other bombers that suffered from stress or stability issues, the B-25 handled the extra weapons surprisingly well. Pilots praised its ability to remain stable even during intense firing runs. This combination of engineering reliability and combat performance helped turn the aircraft into a legend. By the end of the war, the B-25 had proven itself across every major combat theater from Africa and Europe to China, Burma, and the Pacific. More than 10,000 were built, and many continued to serve long after the war. Some countries used them into the 1960s. The aircraft also became a favorite on air show circuits, where restored models still fly today, offering spectators a glimpse into the incredible engineering of the past. The story of the B-25 is the story of innovation under pressure. What began as a simple medium bomber became a symbol of American creativity, determination, and battlefield adaptation. When the need for low-level attack aircraft became clear, the B-25 stepped forward as the perfect candidate. Its transformation into a gunship with up to 18 forward-firing machine guns represents one of the most dramatic evolutions of any aircraft during the Second World War. It proved that even in a massive global conflict, ingenuity could create new weapons and tactics that shifted the balance of power. Today, when we look back at the B-25, we see more than a bomber. We see a flying fortress of firepower, a versatile warrior, and a machine that earned the respect of every pilot who flew it. The deadly evolution of the B-25 Mitchell remains one of the most impressive chapters in aviation history. It stands as a reminder that a well-designed aircraft combined with daring pilots and creative engineering can achieve results far beyond what anyone ever expected. This is the story of the B-25, the plane that carried 18 machine guns in its nose and changed the face of aerial warfare forever.